So, Christian, you're covering prepositions of place, page 31. Looking at the material, you've got some quite attractive, colourful material to use, so I suggest using it. You could maybe take shots of this, screenshots of the PDF of this, and maybe put them onto a slide. Something like that. And this could be your lead in. And so what places can you see in the pictures? Maybe you could have get the students or have labels, movable labels or stickies like on a Jamboard, and they can move the stickies. Like, okay, so which is the bank? Okay, so they've got to move the sticky to the bank. Yeah. You could do this in pairs, or you could do it open class altogether for the lead in. I think it's all right to do it open class for the lead in. And then you could do that leads nicely to the map. Now you're going to need this map to work on these prepositions, because this is the main language item. Prepositions of place, right? That's the main language focus of your lesson. It's not so much the vocabulary. Okay, so don't spend too much time on the vocabulary. The main language focus is actually the prepositions. Yeah, but they need the vocabulary to be able to work with the prepositions, don't they? So they're connected. Yeah. Exercise 3. I mean, that's kind of useful. It could be omitted, but you're going to need to do number 4. Because this is like the meaning of the prepositions. So that's your meaning work. It would be useful to have vocabulary book page 18, but we don't have that. I said it might be a good idea to read through the teacher's guide. The teacher's book, right? For any instructions on how to teach the prepositions. Yeah. How to teach the form. Now, it might be useful to have some gapped sentences in which they can insert the prepositions into them. So you could also look in the workbook for that. Right. Because they need to kind of know that the prepositions go in the middle of the sentence between the subject and the object, don't they? Pronunciation, you can focus on the sound again, on the left, on the right, which they might have problems with the on the right. That would probably be enough. On the left, on the right. Drill that a few times. On the left, on the right. Sometimes the words, you get words linking together. The bus stop isn't in the square, isn't in. The t and the in links together. Supermarket's on the right. The car park's on the right. When you get a consonant sound and a vowel sound, that could be an opportunity to work on pronunciation. Control practice. Make sentences about these places. That could be useful control practice. And but make sure that they have access to the map when they're doing the control practice. Otherwise, it'd be difficult. Seven, or that could be your freer practice. Where's the supermarket? But they need to have the map in front of them. You could have that on a Google slide. If you share the Google slide in the chat, then they will have access to the map all the time. Any doubts or queries?
Yes. So when I have my lesson plan, I need to upload to the platform.
That's right.
But where?
Ideally 2 hours before. And where? To this place. Let's go up here and okay, here's your course. Okay, when you go into the platform, you see these blocks, right? Which place do you need to upload it to, do you think?
In teaching practice portfolio.
That's right.
But when I try to open, it's appear this lesson has no content, empty lesson.
Okay, but can you click on teaching practice 1?
I don't see that.
All right, let me make a note of that and I'll raise it as a query with Carmen. Let me ask the coordinator. Maybe they haven't activated it yet.
Okay, perfect.
But this is the place where you need to upload it.
Okay.
Does say start 25th. So from 6 a.m. you should be able to upload it. That's probably why, because it's not the 25th yet, it's only the 20th. Okay. But the day of the teaching practice, you should be able to do it. Upload it. Vale?
Okay.
Makes sense?
Yeah. Yeah.
So there we are going to upload the lesson plan. Okay.
That's it.
Perfect.
Okay, let's move on to Paula. Paula, you are doing there is and there are.
Yes.
And it's page 32 and 33. Let's take a look at page 32, 33. Ah, it's right next door. Okay, well, it's going to help that they've encountered some of this vocabulary already, like cafe, restaurant. Yeah, so you wouldn't have to spend too much time on the vocabulary. Yeah, remember that is not vocabulary is not the main focus of your lesson. The main focus is there is and there are. All right. So don't get too distracted by that. Now, I recommend that you, like Christian, you may take a screenshot of this picture and you could put it on a Google slide or a Jamboard. If it was a Jamboard, then you could have some stickies with a tree, a boy, a girl, a baby, and a dog. Okay, so you could get the students to say, okay, students, move the sticky that says a boy. Move it to the boy, right? So physically they're doing it, yeah? Gets them involved. Find the tree. Okay, move the sticky to the tree. So on, yeah? You could do 4.2. That's quite a good way of getting them to understand the descriptions. Okay, and then number 3. Is a good way to convey the meaning of there is and there are in a context. So there are 2 waiters in the cafe. Is that true? No, there's only one, isn't there? On the left of the cafe, there's a hotel. Tick or cross? What is it?
Tick.
Tick. On the right of the cafe, there's a restaurant. Tick or cross?
Cross.
So you can also teach them tick or paloma and cross tacha. There are 2 girls and 2 boys in the square. It's 1 girl and 3 boys. 2 dogs in the square. Yeah. A lot of trees. No, there's only 1. It'd be good to elicit from them the if when the answer is false, elicit why. Because it'll give you an idea of their ability. Yeah? Obviously, the stronger students will be able to answer. The weaker ones won't say anything. But that's useful information, no? That's what we need as teachers. We need to be finding out from the students how much they know. I mean, it's simple language, but some will know more than this, some will know less. Okay, so for the meaning, you can ask further concept checking questions. Which is singular, which is plural. Page 114, you have a box which is useful for teaching the form. Yeah, this is quite useful. You know, you could put all these on stickies on a Jamboard and have two sections, singular and plural, negative and questions. Maybe have a table, and you could get the students to move them into the right sections on the table. That would be a good way for them to learn about the form. How could you do it? Let me just get a Jamboard up, see if we can make a very quick one. Okay, here's my Jamboard console. So I make a quick one here. Okay, can we make a table? What we could do is make a table on Word. We need a table with 3 columns, 4 rows. Show me how I'm doing this. So we've got a little table, and we put affirmative, negative, question. Okay. And then we've got singular and plural. Right. Watch this. Now we put this, made a little table on Word. And we can insert this into a Jamboard. Somehow. Like that. Okay, now you've got a table. This is your little form table. Now we can put some of those sentences on sticky notes. There are 3 cafes. Okay, now where does it go? Is it affirmative, negative, or question? Tell me this sentence. Guys, help me.
Affirmative.
Affirmative, yeah. Is it singular or plural?
Plural.
Plural, right. Yeah. So that can help them with the form. Doesn't take much to design. If you think the students won't be able to do this, you can move the stickies yourself. If you think they can do it, then you can share and let them move the stickies. So it depends on how good you think they are with technology. Yeah. What else could we help you with? Pronunciation. I think there's an exercise on page 33. There is. Yeah. So it's this the sound again, contrasted with which is softer. The. Do you know what the difference is in the sound parlor between the first one and the second one?
Yes.
What?
Is the airflow. There is no sound, just the air. And the second is abbreviation in the throat. Ugh.
It's the other way around. The second one is the soft one, 3. But the first one is a hard voiced sound. So there, they, the, this, that, these, those. You can feel the voice box vibrating. Yeah? The second one is soft. It doesn't vibrate. 3, 13, 30. Think. Okay. Exercise 4 you can use for control practice. Correct the sentences in exercise 3. That would work, yeah. And you could get them to write some sentences about the picture. It's not very inspiring, but it's okay. It's a freer practice. Or you could even go for the speaking task. If you feel that they've got time. So you could prepare a simpler production activity 5, or you could go for the speaking task, which involves them describing pictures. But if you think they're not very strong, then you could just go for 5. It's up to you.
Andrew,
Any queries?
yeah, if the control practice is the same, the speaking task, in this case, or
Well, what do you think? What do we normally do in a control practice?
a task, or not?
Well, what does task mean? Well, control practice implies something more mechanical, so that they have more support in manipulating the meaning and the form of the language. Whereas the production stage, which comes at the end, is more creative. You want to get them to be talking more freely, using the language to create their own meanings, yeah, which is a more challenging activity. Yeah. So if you're not sure about the difference between controlled activities and freer activities, go back and look at the materials on PPP on unit 11.
Thank you.
But control practice goes in the middle and the production goes at the end. So in this logical sequence of a PPP lesson, now this one would be the freer practice. Teacher gives instructions for an activity that involves learners to speak about a similar situation. This would be the control practice. Teacher sets instructions for an activity that involves completing sentences using the language presented. Yeah, possibly with gaps at the beginning of the words, and they have to put there is or there are. That is like a control practice, according to whether it's plural or singular. That clearer?
Yes, thank you for your patience.
Remember, there needs to be a progression from the presentation, something that's more controlled, to something that's much less controlled by the end of the lesson. By controlled, I mean controlled by the teacher, right? So you're giving the students more independence by the end of the lesson. All right, let's go to page 65 for Sarai, who's not here. But Sarai is doing can or can't. Where's she? There we are. Fortunately, Sarai has until Wednesday, so she's got a bit more time. Like you, Paula, you're doing yours next Wednesday, right? So it's probably Tanya that's going to help Sarai with this. But see if there's anything we can help her with anyway. So you could focus on Sarai, the affirmative and the negative. Or more challenging would be to do the questions. Let's assume the students aren't very strong, so we could go for can and can't in the positive and the negative. With the lead in, you could get them to look at the pictures, elicit who's in them. So we can see a musician in one, a runner or sprinter in number 2, a basketball player in number 4, and number 3, a chess player. You could help them with the vocabulary in these sentences, A to D. You can get them to match the sentences with the pictures, and that helps to convey the meaning of these sentences with can or can't. Form, you could look in the grammar box, help them to notice that can and can't, you need, there's the can and then the main verb, play or read in this case. How to form the negative, cannot. Point out that can and can't, they don't change whether it's he, she, we, or they. Pronunciation. Here you've got some pronunciation activity. Moving on to 3, there's some new verbs. Maybe you could get students to stand up and mime some of these verbs, right? Or get the students to guess which ones you are miming, like eat food. That might be an opportunity to do some more kinesthetic type activities involving movement. Some students appreciate that. Control practice, you could do something from the workbook. And production. Get students to make sentences about the pictures. That could be done in a spoken way in breakout rooms. Or if you think the students are more advanced, you could build a lesson against with the questions with can. So why don't you wait until Monday to see what the students are like then, and make a decision with Tanya, because Tanya will ask you and Sarai and Paula. She will ask you what you're planning to do. Okay. I think that's all we need to do now. It's nearly 8 o'clock. Do you have any further questions?
Yes, so for the teaching practice, we need to invite more people.
That would be ideal. I invite your friends, anyone who you think is at a very elementary level. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. You've got the Zoom link, so you can just share the Zoom link with them. It would be great if they have like computers or at least tablets. So it's not ideal that they do it from a mobile phone because they can't always participate very well in some of the activities.
Okay. Perfect.
Any further doubts? But to Carmen is in the process of recruiting more teaching practice students. So as the course goes on, sure thing, there will be more students coming in. Anna Maria, you're looking concerned.
Yes, because I'm thinking what I'm going to do.
Okay.
But for example, in the meaning, I need to give the meaning to Paola and Christian, or just this like with the examples.
Could you get the students to figure out, do something more, a little bit more interactive, whereas just, instead of just telling them?
Okay, okay,
Yeah.
perfect.
So that's why, I mean, maybe you could adapt those pictures that you have there. And I mean, maybe you could have these on a Jamboard.
Okay.
You could blank out the speech, these bubbles, the content of the
Okay.
bubbles, and they've got to move the words into the bubbles themselves.
Ah, okay, perfect.
That would
Okay.
be a nice activity. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Yeah. Thank you.
But yeah, I mean, diagrams are going to help you to get across the meaning, however you decide to do it. Whether it's something a bit more teacher-centered, teacher-led, or the students are more involved in doing matching and categorizing. Yeah. But these Google Suite tools that we talked about today, they are well suited to making these types of activities. So you can have fun and be creative and make it more interesting for the learners.
Okay, and we need to explain with all the information that the book. It's a preposition of place. Only I explain the false that are there.
Well, yes, you need to use on the left, on the right, near, and in. That's your target language, right? So, I mean, you could do something similar, Christian. Maybe take a screenshot of this, blank out, take out the, just have these empty boxes, and you have these on stickies, on the sticky notes, and they've just got to move them into the right place, into the diagrams, like on the right, on the left.
Okay. Yeah.
Let me just give you a very brief example. Okay, so if I save this into notes, I can blank out the amazing what you can do with these computers these days. So can I blank this out? Yeah, I think I can. Oh yeah, that's cool. I like that. Saved. Cool. Aye. Aye, watch this. Bit of magic. Okay, so we got this. And we get sticky. Now, is that on the left or on the right? On the left. And so you've got on the right over here. Okay, which is it? On the left or on the right? Huh. On the left, isn't it? Huh? So you could have the prepositions matched to the diagrams. It's quite easy to design. Bit of fiddling around. Any further questions? Well, that's all we got planned for today. Let me just check on our timetable so you know what you're doing. I think there's some work on the asynchronous activities. Ya podemos terminar. And confirm that we've done everything we needed to do. Yeah, demo with learners, done that. Zoom induction and G Suite tools. Discussion on demo and guided lesson planning, done. Final delivery of language related task. That's your WA1. Asynchronous topic, tenses and the future. Cool. We did it. Go for your merienda now or plan your TP1. It's up to you. You can send us 1 or 2 questions if you wish by email or message through the platform. It's up to you. All right. So, buenas noches.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Yeah.
See
See
you.
you on Monday.
Se ven cansados.
Yeah.
Ah,
I am sick.
pues que descansen.
Gracias igualmente.
Voy a pasear los perros.
Okay.
All
Bye.
right.